There's more Titanic information. A lot more. I just finished watching Titanic: The Digital Resurrection on Nat Geo. Go watch it. Until recently, extreme depth, crushing pressure, and pitch black darkness meant the explorers could only glimpse small portions of the wreckage at a time until now. Two underwater robots, Romeo and Juliet, worked 24 hours a day for 3 weeks straight to create the first ever complete digital twin of the Titanic. The resulting data would take 2 full years to process, but now it's finally here, giving us an unprecedented view of the entire wreck of the Titanic for the very first time. Seeing the wreck in its entirety is both breathtaking, but also very unsettling. It's like watching a scene from a horror movie, seeing the wreck rise up from the seafloor. The digital recreation is also insanely detailed. That is the Titanic's starboard propeller, which you can clearly read 410, which is the Titanic's hull number. To properly display the model, engineers built a special studio with LED screens hundreds of feet tall, recreating the wreck to actual size and scale. So that propeller you just saw was to scale. Naturally, after this disaster, the world demanded answers from the designer of the Titanic, Edward Wilding. Wilding, working off very little info, calculated that a series of puncture holes measuring about 12 square feet caused the sinking by flooding more than 4 compartments. The Titanic was built to stay afloat with only 4 compartments flooded. Professor John Key Pike simulated the collision and confirmed that Wilding's theory was remarkably accurate. The iceberg barely grazed the ship, making contact for a grand total of 6.3 seconds. That's it, but that was enough contact to create a series of puncture holes across 18 square feet. Holes the size of printer paper across 6 compartments caused the Titanic to sink. The other popular Wilding theory that is still talked about today is that the Titanic would have survived if they hit the iceberg head on. Now the simulation puts that theory to the test. The simulation showed the open deck would have crumbled like an accordion due to Newton's third law of motion, which is equal and opposite reaction, but the damage would have stopped just at the end of the open deck. And guess what? If they had hit the iceberg head on, they only would have lost 4 compartments and would have stayed afloat. Then the recreation possibly answered a few more mysteries. For decades, First Officer Murdoch was rumored to have shot himself on deck, with the world labeling him as a coward. But Second Officer Lightoller insisted he watched Murdoch be swept overboard while trying to launch one final lifeboat, dying a hero's death. Now, the digital recreation reveals that the davits, which are the lifeboat's pulley systems, are upright, the position for launching a lifeboat. The physical evidence hidden for 113 years may finally vindicate Murdoch's legacy as a hero as Lightoller always claimed him to be. That's all I have for you. Go watch this doc. It is so nuts.